Good afternoon, people. This is Martin coming to you from URC. That's the Urban Renaissance Center. And we are here at our, the episode, the introductory, the first episode of many U of M podcast, the Capstone production, by the way. And we're here to discuss Ubuntu and the URC and its relevance. And so I'm here with the lead for the U of M Capstone Project. That's Max. Is that Maximilian or Maximus?
Maxwell.
It's Maxwell, okay. And I have Dom here, who is our facilitator and a very integral part of the logistics and how we work with the URC.
Yes.
So with that being said, Max.
Grateful to be here. From University of Michigan, Flint, we have a team of about 19 students. This is working on our Capstone social work project, and we've been tasked with helping the URC getting to know you better, partnering with the community at large and helping grow this wonderful facility you guys have. So I'm hoping to ask you both some questions today.
Okay. Fire away.
What's the philosophy behind the URC? How does this all start?
Oh, the Urban Renaissance Center. If you know what the word Renaissance means, it's a rebirth. It's an enlightening. We are here because the neighborhood, the city, the community needed a rebirth. There was violence on every end. There was all kinds of, we had the water crisis going on. We had the food desert. We had so many little entities working against us.
Yeah.
And so the Urban Renaissance Center was kind of rebirthed and born out of that. Its whole purpose really is, like the name says, a renaissance of the urban.
So this idea of Ubuntu, can you speak to that?
Ubuntu basically, it details the human, the connectedness that we all have, that we share as humans. And one of his catchphrases is, I am that we are. It basically tells you that there is no island. No man is an island. We all operate in a connectedness.
That's great. Did you grow up in this neighborhood?
I did.
Yeah.
I grew up maybe 3 or 4 streets from here, and I left and I returned. But when I was here, the neighborhood was so different.
Yeah.
It was so different. It was largely Caucasian. And then the city underwent a transformation, the neighborhood right along with it, and we're bringing that back down. No more hood. We're back to the neighborhood again.
There you go.
We're not hood. We're neighborhood again.
That's nice. Dom, what's your role here?
Well, basically my role is I've been here from the beginning. I've seen from ground up. You know, actually, as Martin was speaking, I was actually brought into this from violence. You know, actually how I was introduced, and first off, people seen me, it was violence, you know.
Yeah.
And me being part of this and helping out, building this, being involved with the community, you know, going around with like the URC meetings and doing things in the garden area, just anything to bring and help the community to come back has helped me with my anger and changed my life around, just being involved in it. And by that, now I have got really interested into it. And basically this, all this now that's happening is just so, it's like unbelievable to me, because before, when I first started, it was none of this. Like you say, violence, you know, people steady in the stream of getting themselves together, you know, us still dealing with the community, like bringing other people to the understanding of like change is a big thing. And, you know, just basically like over the 17 plus years that I have been here.
17 years?
Yes.
Wow.
17 years. Around when I was 17, I'm 35 now.
Live down the street?
I have grew up over the street right over Milborn and Rankin. You know, I've been there mostly all my life. I was born on Humble Street, right down the street, right across from Civic Park. I was born on that street, and boy, I tell you, the big change I've seen. You know, coming from this, the beginning change, the middle change, and the after change, and I'm pretty sure much is more to come, because as you know.
Sure. Can you speak to where this facility started and how this all came about?
Being there for people like me that need help, you know, bringing people to to the church.
Yeah.
You know, was one of the goals and stuff like that. Making the community look better and stuff like that. One of the things we first started off with was the simulated windows and doors, where we make go through and we make the abandoned houses look like they're legitimately like
Inhabited.
Cleaning up the
you know what I mean? That way
neighborhood.
kids and stuff like, you know, don't come past abandoned homes and stuff like that. Really, that's one of the things that started this off, you know,
Yeah.
making the neighborhood more secure and, you know, what's a good word for it? Safe.
Safe. Sure.
No, that's real. That's real.
Because I know one of the pastors, some of the symbols he uses, like you put down the hammer, pick up the gun, not pick up the gun.
I get you.
Cut that.
That was said.
So-
Put down the guns, pick up the
I'm
hammer.
gonna start again.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest things. And I mean, if I can talk about it on here, I mean, I can actually tell you, the first time I actually was introduced, I was shooting the gun. Was actually church and shooting the gun on a Sunday. And the mothers and the pastors see me. And one day walking from the store, the pastor walks up to me and asks me, son, you know, basically not pressuring me or nothing. You know, he says, son, I see, you know, basically telling me he sees what's going on. He would like to help me out. You know, won't you come up to the church sometimes? Your choice. I'm not telling, you know, basically saying come on your free will, you know, and see what we can work out and, you know, if we can make things better or, you know, basically that type of conversation.
Sure.
And, you know, and the next day I showed up and I've been here ever since.
That's awesome. How about for you, Martin?
Well, listening to Dom's testimony, I understand that the Joy Tabernacle was an integral part of the URC.
Yeah.
The URC was basically an outcrop. It was birthed from Joy's Tabernacle reaching out to the streets. Because this was a very violent neighborhood, and people still think it is in some regards.
Sure.
But it is not. It's been transformed by people like Dom, who put the hammer down, or put the gun down and picked up the hammer.
There we go.
And so, because I went to high school, in junior high school, in these neighborhoods around here.
Yeah.
And so I remember when it was a pristine neighborhood. And when I went away to the service and came back, I didn't recognize it. And I was only gone for 4 years, and I was like, what happened to the city of Flint in 4 short years? And so when I came back, of course, when I got situated and settled, I didn't want any parts of this neighborhood here.
Right.
So even when I did finally settle, I settled maybe half a mile up the street. And I was there for 20 years, coming back down and through here, seeing the carnage, but I was not a part of the rehab or the process itself. But I did see it though. I had family members over here and so on and so on. So when I was invited, how I got invited to the facility was my artwork. I was told that Pastor needed an art director here for the URC. And I was like, I'm already at a job already, so I don't know if I can do that. Then I asked my employer for a leave of absence, and they said no. So I just said, you know what? This is more important right now. I got priorities, you know, set in order, so on. So I came here and I talked to the pastor. He said, safari. I need a safari. I was like, no problem, I can do a safari. He didn't know my skill set. He knew I was an artist, but he's like, how are you gonna do that? I said, just give me a week. And I had some sculptures already in the process. I brought a sculpture down there, he saw it, he said, can you make that bigger? Yes, I can.
Yeah.
And the safari was born. But I've been watching from the peripheral this neighborhood and this establishment as it was rebirthed, and watching it as it got established. See, I didn't know Dom when he was that guy.
Right.
When I met him, he had that laugh he got right there. So that's all I knew of it.
Yeah.
But I did know the history of the neighborhood, though, and how it had transformed itself from pristine, middle class to a shoot 'em up kind of Western style, like, you know. And I was like, what happened to the city of Flint? Because this is a historical neighborhood right here, Civic Park, and it's got historical relevance within the city of Flint, and I didn't recognize it. So the URC, the Urban Renaissance Center, is at the forefront, and there's been other neighborhoods that have taken, you know, a cue from here and began to really revitalize as well.
Now it seems like one of your mainstays is the community garden. Can you talk about that?
Community garden, the reason why it's so important is because the lead crisis we had here. The first thing that was in mind when we first started the community garden was about lead abatement. Let's plant some crops that mitigates the effects of lead. And it just blossomed from there. I am so excited the fact that we have a Chef Antoine Trimble. He's the real deal.
Yeah.
And they're making us understand how to take healthy foods that we are growing to go from the garden to the pot, and tasty and delectable dishes. Because, I don't care how healthy your food is, if it don't look good and don't taste good, who's gonna eat it?
Right.
I wouldn't.
Not me.
So I know it started with the garden and just cleaning up the community at large around you, and now you have so much more to offer, which is whole kind of the purpose of us being here doing this podcast series on this amazing podcast room you guys have, the green room and all these, and the music studio. Do you guys want to speak to that a little bit, what you have to offer the community?
The community itself is always surprised when they come in and they see our facilities. For one, is for some reason it looks so much bigger from the inside than out. Then you come in and you see we got a recording studio. Everybody wants to be a rapper nowadays, a singer, whatever.
Sure.
Got these facilities for that right here. We got a green screen. You want to be an actor, you want some newscasting going on, the green room is for that. If you have something you want to discuss, this podcast is right here. We do a podcast called Urban Wren. And we're giving the voiceless a voice.
Yeah.
It's important that you provide a medium for somebody, to express themselves with. Because people, they feel like they're invisible, they feel like they have no voices, and they feel disenfranchised. Well, this whole facility is changing all of that.
Also, I wanted to add, we got a game room that's also on the way too for all you gamers out there. I also want to add something to him, as you say, what we offer too. And this is me really like, spiritual growth, support, advice. Anything you feel like, you can't just say to someone, or you feel like you need to come up and just let out, need some, like anything with, it's basically support. If you need, if they feel like can't let it out, believe me, you come up here comfortably and let it out, we will support you.
Yeah.
So we'll help you in spiritually growth and everything. And sure, I guess you could say you could become part of this family.
There you go.
And you can get, start using some of these accessories and stuff that we have. Because it done helped me out a lot. Everybody always asks me, I used to be rough.
Yeah.
And, things don't happen overnight. This new me right here is 17 plus years.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean?
It's a real blessing.
This new me right here is 17 plus years. Because back then you didn't want to see me.
Yeah.
So, it done a lot for me, and I'm pretty sure, I believe in it doing a lot for a lot of other people too.
It's amazing. It's an amazing facility you guys have, and we're really looking forward to being involved and highlighting all the amazing things you're doing for the Civic Park area. The open house that we're planning to put on for the Urban Renaissance Center, assist them with it. The date is April 13th, the Sunday, at 1:30 p.m. So please come down and check out the URC. Thanks, Martin and Dom, for letting us pick their brains and being a part of this. So appreciate you guys.
Yes.
Much obliged.
No problem, man.
So we're hoping that you will all join us in this open house and beyond, because the open house is merely a jump off, if you ask me. So wrapping this up, we're at 2505 North Chevrolet Avenue. Comment, subscribe to our YouTube. But we're hoping to see you here at the open house and beyond, because we don't want to have this open house event. We want to have this to be the initial contact point for us to the city of Flint and beyond. We want to have all you here. So come on out and bring your family members, your friends, or whatever, and we'll see you there.